Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Nadia the Rose. So today's video is pretty simple. I'm just comparing ADN versus BSN. So if you don't know, ADN is an associate degree of nursing versus BSN, which is a bachelor's of science of nursing. So basically, some of the similarities are you have to have one or the other, or you can have both to be a nurse. So if you chose the ADN route, you would go to a technical college, which is normally 2 years. You would graduate from a technical college with an associate degree of nursing, and then you would sit for the NCLEX to get your RN license. With the Bachelor of Science, you would go to a 4-year private college, university. You would major in nursing, you would graduate, and then you would still sit for the NCLEX to get your RN. The license that you are applying for is the exact same. So if you're taking a test, there's not going to be a ADN NCLEX versus a BSN NCLEX. It's the exact same test. It's the exact same license. So you would be cleared for technically the same thing. Now where it gets different is because you have a bachelor's of science in nursing, that means that you went to school longer and hopefully you have more education because it is a 4-year program versus a 2-year program. Now, of course, when you're doing the 4-year program, all 4 years are not dedicated to nursing specifically. You're taking your English, your math, your chemistries, your anatomies, things of that nature, microbiology. And it's similar in the ADN program as well. It's just not as much, it's not as many prerequisites. So when I graduated high school, I went to a 4-year university to major in nursing. I wanted to become an RN. So what ended up happening, I met my husband, we started dating, we got married, we had my daughter. I ended up just having to drop out of school because being a wife and a mom and a student, it was just too much for me at that time being a new mom. So I ended up dropping out for a little while. And when she was about 2 years old, I was working at a bank. I worked at an extended hour bank, so we were open from 9:30 in the morning to 7 p.m. at night, and sometimes I would work all day, and it wasn't what I wanted to do. I felt like I was away from her, and it wasn't what I was passionate about. So I started talking. I was actually talking to my cousin. She has a doctorate in nursing, which we will make a separate video about all the different types of educational routes you can go and still be an RN. Well, she's actually an NP, but nonetheless. So she was telling me basically that I need to go back to school, and I was telling her, you know, I need a job now. Like, I don't have the money, I don't have the time to go back and finish 3 more years of college. Like, I need finances, like I need a check today. So she was like, no biggie. Exact same thing happened to me. And mind you, she's like 20 years older than me. So right now she's in her late 40s. I didn't know this. Obviously, I was just a child if I was even born at the time. But she had actually gotten into a similar situation. She was in school, got pregnant, had to drop out. You know, it's a real thing. It happens to a lot of people. So she ended up going to get her associate degree of nursing, then her BSN, then her MSN, and then her doctorate. And she was just telling me that was the route that she took, and that's a route that I needed to consider. Now, we do have a technical college where I live, so that same day I researched it. They had an associate degree of nursing, and I just went ahead and applied for application to the school. Not the program yet, but just for the school. So when I was at a university, I had to take the basics, English 1101, English 1102, math, chemistry, inorganic chemistry, organic chemistry, microbiology, anatomy and physiology too. Like, it was a lot of prerequisites. I actually had to take some electives, which were I think I chose agriculture and agriculture and water aerobics. Like, just unnecessary stuff, versus the ADN program, which I think some of the prerequisites was, I know I had to take microbiology lecture, microbiology lab, anatomy and physiology 1 and 2 and their labs. I took math 1101 and English 1101, and I'm pretty sure that was all the prerequisites. Like whatever I used, whatever classes I was taking was to get right into the nursing program. They didn't make you take electives. It was all things that you were really going to need. Now for me, because I had already spent time at a 4-year university, some of my credits transferred, some of them didn't. But how it ended up going, I needed 2 more semesters before I could apply to their nursing program. I had to take anatomy and physiology, and you can't take them at the same time. So I had to take anatomy and physiology 1 in the summer and anatomy and physiology 2 in the fall, and then I would apply for nursing school in the fall to get into the spring, if that makes sense, y'all. Hopefully it does. Okay, so at a 4-year university, you're going to do 2 years of prereqs, and then you are going to do 2 years of actual nursing school. Normally at a ADN program, you would do 1 year of prereqs and then 2 years of nursing school normally. Okay, so there are over 100 nursing schools in this country alone, so they have different requirements. I actually go to the only nursing school that is 3 semesters long. So for me, it goes by extra quick because I am in ADN, and I'm also in the only advanced ADN program in the country. That's not a brag. It just so happens that the school closest to my house is an ADN program, and it is the fastest one in the country. We didn't even know this until orientation, so it wasn't like I set out to go to the fastest ADN program and I moved to go to school. Like, it just happened to be around the corner, God's plan. So I never even got to the point of applying to a nursing school BSN program. So I'm not sure how their class schedules are set up once you get into nursing school. I know for me, I took fundamentals of nursing and psychiatric nursing in the fall. This is currently the spring, and I'm taking med surg and maternity. Next semester, I will be taking leadership, doing my preceptorship, and I think taking a different form of med surg, I'm pretty sure. So that is basically the difference between the schooling part. Now, if you go onto any university website, they're going to tell you that you should get a BSN because you're going to have more education, you're going to have more opportunities, you're going to make more money than you would if you went on an ADN program. Now that I'm actually in a program and I talk to a lot of nurses daily, that is not necessarily the case. Now, yes, hands down, you're going to get more education at a BSN because you're going to school for a longer point. You're taking more classes. Now, all of them don't necessarily go hand in hand with nursing. Like I told you, I took water aerobics. So some of the classes that they have you take are just classes to fill up your schedule, honestly. But the opportunities, now there are some opportunities that are better with a BSN. Mainly if you want to teach, you're going to need a BSN, MSN. If you want to be a nurse manager, you're going to need a BSN, MSN. To be like a charge nurse on the floor that day, it doesn't matter. It's just going to be based on your skill set and tenure and things of that nature. Being a charge nurse doesn't affect BSN, ADN, or at least not in my experience, not in the clinical setting that I go to. So if you want to be a nurse manager, an educator, a director, you're definitely going to need a higher education. A BSN will help you get your foot in the door. But if you need to become a nurse quickly, if you don't have the time to sit through a BSN program, you need to start working quickly, ADN is just as good. It gets you there. And I personally, once I got my ADN, I was going to move into a BSN. However, I'm not really sure if that's the case now because they have a lot of RN to MSN programs where you can skip BSN altogether. So right now I haven't made any decisions about what I want to do. But that option is out there. Now, as far as the pay go, so if you go on a university website, which I went on 4 different ones when I was researching this video, and this video I researched, so it's not like I'm talking from a student ADN point of view. Like, I really researched to be as less biased as possible, especially because I tried the BSN route and the ADN route. So university websites are going to tell you that you're going to make 3 times more money being a BSN than you would an ADN. I don't know if that is true somewhere, but honestly, you guys, and this is not just my hospital, this is not just my program. I've talked to nurses in different states, I've talked to hospital nurses, I've talked to clinics, I've talked to nonprofit organization nurses. Honestly, if there is a price difference, I haven't heard it being more than $2. Now, $2 extra does add up over time, but I'm just being honest. That's the highest, and that wasn't even in Georgia. I think she was working in Kentucky, and that was the difference, the higher difference. Now, at the hospital I work at right now, there is no difference. I don't know if that's because of COVID, which COVID alone changed the game. Now they need any kind of nurse, and they will pay you what you want because they're just short-staffed. They really are. So at my hospital, whether you're a BSN or an ADN, you get paid my hospital. So when I say my hospital, I mean the hospital that I am doing my clinical rotation in. But you get paid the same if you're a BSN new grad or ADN new grad. It's the same amount of money they start you off with. And then they change your pay based on tenure. Now, like I said, I'm not sure if COVID started that, but as long as I've been in nursing school and I've done clinicals at this particular hospital, it has always been the same. BSNs will get paid the same as ADNs in this particular hospital. So I've already pretty much gave you my spiel about why I chose ADN, and it was honestly just because I wanted to be working soon. I have a 3-year-old. She was going on 2 at the time, and now I'm already in the program. I graduate in August, so I'm pretty much almost done. I'm so close to graduating, and I'm so excited. Like I said in the video, I'm just not sure about whether I will pursue a BSN or a MSN. I just don't know yet, but I do know I need higher education because your girl cannot be a floor nurse forever. Now, don't get me wrong, I love floor nurses. I think what they do is just incredible. I'm not sure how it is in your hospital, but in the hospital I'm doing clinical rotations, nurses can have anywhere, floor nurses can have anywhere between 6 to 8 patients, and for me that is just a little overwhelming. I haven't really found my footing yet, so I don't think floor nursing, med-surg nursing, I don't think that's something that I would commit to long term. So I already kind of know I need to have a higher education. In the back of my mind, it's kind of like, girl, what you gonna do? Because you know you can't do med-surg forever. Like, it's just not my it's not my thing. But that is it for this video, you guys. Sorry I haven't been posting as much. It's February. I'm back in school. I'm doing med-surg and maternal, and it's hitting me hard. So I haven't had a lot of free time. Matter of fact, I should be studying right now. Sorry if y'all can hear that. Zaza is cutting up with his father. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. So like always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions about ADN versus BSN, don't hesitate to let me know down in the comments below. Or if you have any more questions about nursing school in general, just let me know. I love answering you guys' questions. You can leave them in the comments, or you can send it to me in my Instagram DMs. My Instagram is Nadia the Rose. So that is it for this video. I will see you in the next one. And for now, you guys continue to thrive and make 2021 a great year.